What is going on, everybody? We are back with another CCW review for a wrestling show. I am Nick,
And that was weird. And I'm Joe.
and we're here to talk about Aew Dynamite from April 1st. This is not an April Fool's Day joke. It felt
No,
like
this
it.
show actually took place. There was parts of me that I felt like I was being fooled, though.
Yeah, well, there's one specifically. I think there was an April Fool's joke thrown in here, but it was for someone else, and we'll get there pretty quickly into this whole conversation. Um, but no, earlier today, SRS apparently on his Fightful Select thing that you have to pay for, which I do not. They broke the news that Jericho was going to be there tonight.
Sure.
Surprisingly, did not break out on the internet though, because like I'd seen that he had posted news about Jericho, but he never said it on Twitter, and no one else said it on Twitter. If it did, it didn't show up in my feeds like it normally would. But to be
And
fair,
Dave Meltzer said that they didn't expect Jericho back in WWE anytime soon. And that was the last thing I heard about Jericho from anybody.
well, and to be fair, to whatever, the only thing I am currently getting in my feed is a lot of people talking about Crimson Desert. But that's also because I've been spending a lot of time bitching about it and or praising things depending on what mood I'm in. Um, so there's that. Now, with that being said, some fun things that have happened on Twitter this week. I got to fuck with somebody and pretend to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, so that was a lot of fun. Um,
Well, was that the person you were explaining Austin 316 to?
Yeah, so somebody had posted that some lady. It was a whole thing about some lady not being able to, or a company wanting them to take or people wanting this company to take Bible verses off of the bottom of their food cartons or whatever. Some company I've never heard of. It's a food place, and then the lady was, I guess, was like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen," or some shit. Which, either way, I don't care. But then there's somebody else had taken the image and photoshopped the lady into an Austin 316 shirt and said that this should be the Bible verse, that they should force their employees to wear these shirts. And it made me laugh because I'm like, hey, wrestling fan, getting some fun laughs in there. And then somebody else chimed in and said, what's Austin 316? So my response to them was, if you want me to explain what Austin 316 is to you, give me a hell yeah.
And they were like, hell yeah?
And they responded back with hell yeah. So then I explained it to them and then sent them a link to the video after I watched it, of course, because I cannot go to the page and then not watch the promo. So I watched it and then I copied the link. I sent it to them, and so that was my favorite thing that happened on Twitter this week.
Yeah. And the restaurant in question is In-N-Out Burger.
Was it okay? So it was a bigger chain. I've but either way, I didn't care about any of that specific stuff because I'm like, you know what? If companies want to put Bible verses on their shit, that's up to them. I don't care. It doesn't bother me none. If their food's good, I'm gonna eat there. Um, People just get really bent out of shape about things that don't matter.
Well, it religious is polarizing, or religion is polarizing, and
Pole
not
dancing is
everybody
also
has the
polarizing.
same one. Yeah, exactly. All of them are.
No, I said pole dancing is also polarizing. It was a
Well,
joke.
I didn't hear that part.
Anyways, AW Dynamite. So the show started off really weird. Shivani was in the ring and he was like, "Hey, we're here to talk about the," and then a firework went off, and he just kind of looked around and he's like, "All right, sorry about that, guys. So yeah, we're here to talk. We're going to be doing the contract signing," and then the fireworks went off again. And I think this was an April Fool's Day joke to fuck with Tony Schiavone because of how it
Is either
happened.
that or the worst production of a wrestling show ever. I'm hoping it was a joke, but it was real dumb, and I was confused like crazy.
Well, I only think it's an April Fool's Day joke on Tony, strictly from the fact that so when I went back to get the picture for the thumb, I knew I was going to be getting a picture of Jericho because that is the big hot topic issue coming out of this whole show. And so when I went back, and since it happens at the very beginning, I just hit play and waited for him to come out. Plus, I kind of missed the first 10 to 15 seconds So watching it again, just the timing of the fireworks stuff just felt like it was a joke to fuck with Tony, just because of the timing of everything.
Right. As he's talking to introduce people, and then suddenly.
Um, but it also could have been a fuck up, and if it was, cool. I thought it was still funny because Shivani looked really, really uh, put off, and I'm okay with that.
Sadly, it didn't affect his job of commentating and being bad at it.
No, I almost kind of wish they'd had somebody lighting off fireworks behind him the entire night. So, um, instead of the contract signing, Judas comes on, and the crowd loses their shit initially. Um, they got quieter
Until the,
as it went on.
yeah, because I think they thought they were getting ribbed.
um, but them being in Winnipeg tonight, they were definitely
his
happy.
hometown.
They were definitely happy to see him. It was not a "oh my god, I can't believe it's Jericho" thing. That was more for us at home.
Well, he's the hometown boy.
But I am going to say this first and foremost: I was happy to see him. I would have been happier to see him in the Royal Rumble. Don't get me wrong, but I was happy to see him, and I feel like he's been gone almost a year. So it doesn't bother me, and it's more going to depend on what they do with it, right?
Agreed.
And it also depends on how he's going to be. Because I'm going to tell you right now, hands down, in my opinion, physically, he is in the best shape he's been in since doing the "you're on the list" gimmick in WWE. He looked in great shape.
And getting lean isn't the problem. Can you still move like you need to be an adequate pro wrestler?
Right, and that's the big one. But again, he's gotten lean enough. He's probably not going to have as big as issue for hitting the lion salts and stuff like he was when he was up, an extra 70 pounds. Like, we had Fat Jericho there for a while, and it was weird.
But he's another year older.
I mean, can't say shit about that, though. Look at Rey Mysterio. That motherfucker's like 89 years old and still is running around like a fucking... Well, he's not now because he's injured. But was still running around like a madman.
He's also the greatest lucha libre to ever wrestle.
Listen, and Jericho is the greatest submission specialist of all time. He's the man of 1,001 holds. And
that's horseshit. Number 1, arm bar.
The bad thing is there's somebody that was eventually going to stumble on this video and not get it at all.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about today's wrestling fans. But to be fair, that was also WCW, so it's going to be hard pressed to find somebody that's going to.
It's not as easily available since they've went away from the network. You used to be able to just bring that shit up and watch it.
So for those of you that don't, the quick rundown: Jericho had a feud going on with Dean Malenko back in WCW, and Dean Malenko was known as the man of 1,000 holds, and Jericho's whole thing was, "I know more submission holds than Dean Malenko does."
Yep.
And his one,
he was the man of 1,004. Was it 1,004? It was a weird number.
I believe it was just 1,001 because the one that put him over was the Lion Tamer, because he didn't have the walls of Jericho until he went to WWE. Which, to be fair, the Lion Tamer is pretty much the exact same move.
It's a Boston Crab.
Anyways, Jericho comes out looking like a 1600s villain.
No, it was 1,004 holds.
Was it 1,004? Right. I thought it was 1.
Yeah.
It has been many moons since I've seen those pants on a Revenge game.
Only since 1998.
Many moons. Lots of moons. So many.
Yeah, that
moons.
happened in the 1900s. I hate that expression.
So yeah, he came out looking like a 1600s villain, looking like he was about to do some Macbeth.
Yeah, he looked like in the shiniest fucking outfit ever. For one, his pants screamed Vegas His outfit screamed Vegas performer. His facial hair screamed, "I got some chick tied to some train tracks out back, and I'm gonna be twirling my little mustache."
His face screamed, "Wherefore art thou, vagina?" Um,
Yeah,
although what
as you said, he looked like one of the Three Musketeers.
he only said 4 words. He said, "Winnipeg AEW, I'm home." Now this confuses me because there was heavily rumored he was planning on going to WWE, but then they were said had this rumor going around. Obviously, all rumors, right? We will never truly know everything that goes on behind the scenes.
He leaks his own shit too, so he was probably using it as a negotiating
But then
tactic.
it was also heavily rumored that he had time added on to his contract because of all the time he spent away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be curious to see how all of this plays out because he also recently said he feels like he has anywhere between 1 to 4 years left in him to wrestle.
Oh God, 4 years? What? No,
Um,
no.
but I don't know. What I don't know is if, and what'll be interesting to find out is if he signed a new contract with AEW, if he's just on this train to ride it out until he can leave.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know. Obviously, there's a lot.
I'm sure Sean will be breaking some scoops there.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we'll definitely see soon. I'm sure. But I do know the one thing that has been broken. I watched What Culture's one of their videos this morning, and they did say that he trademarked the term cornerstone. So I'm guessing he is going to be doing a cornerstone type gimmick where he's like one of the cornerstones of AEW. Which
So there's been pillars, now there's cornerstones. Like, what is holding this structure together?
at this point, sticky tack, because I don't know what the fuck is going on, and we'll get there. Backstage after this was done, Mox is getting his ass beat by Osprey. At which point Yuta tries to stop him, and then Yuta got his ass beat by Osprey. Osprey was just fucking everybody up. He didn't care.
Yeah, I made the Death Riders look kind of bad.
Well,
They got up for it later.
He got his comeuppance.
Yeah, they made up for it later.
Then we get the in-ring segment where we now actually get the contract signing. And this is one of the worst contract signings I have ever had to witness on TV. And
all contract signings are bad, but this was not good. The promos, these two, and I am looping MJF in there, are just not good.
My problem with AEW contract signings, there is only one reason to ever have a contract signing. One, and that's to watch somebody get fucked up and thrown through a table. That is it. And AEW, every contract signing I have ever seen from them is a no contact or you lose your spot contract signing, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's what they're supposed to be, which is just a chance to cut a promo against each other. They need to just stop having it be a contract signing.
Well, yeah, honestly, in wrestling, period, I would like for them to get rid of contract signings because it's a stupid idea. Completely.
Agreed.
Like, there's like what contract? Because the match is set. The promoter's the one that sets the fucking match, or the booker, not the promoter. Same difference depending on how old you want to go.
Well, sometimes they're one and the same.
That's why I said sometimes it's both. If you want to go back to the territories days, but there's no reason to do contract signings now. You all work for the company. You're going to do what you're fucking told. At least that's how I feel about it.
It's a pageantry thing.
I know, but there's other things that can be done.
I don't disagree, especially in lieu of what this ended up being.
In fact, I'm going to come out and say it. I want Kenny to do less on any mic ever in the history. Like, moving forward, if he just
you didn't get that on this show.
No! It's 2 weeks in a row that I've had to listen to this man. Listen, guys, Kenny is one of the greatest in-ring talents in the history of this fucking business. But the man needs to shut his fucking mouth.
He used to be much better on a microphone. He doesn't have any edge to him right now.
No, and tonight he tried. He tried to dig deep and sound angry, and I was like, I don't believe you.
You're a happy Canadian man in your home country.
So
I got your universal health care, and
I got excited for a second. So I messaged Joe. I said the funniest thing they could ever do is have both of them come out, sign their contracts, get up and leave. Like, have nothing happen. No talks, no anger, no nothing. They just sign it. Like, that would have made me. It would have. Listen,
they shake hands and they go their separate ways.
it would have been the one time I would have ever watched a contract sign and been like, as stupid as this is, I'm glad this happened because it makes me laugh. We
You would have
almost.
laughed and you would have been like, "What the fuck is this?"
However,
You've been so taken off. That would have been an April Fool's thing.
and then you see him fight in the back. Like, they get to the back and then like they come back from
Yeah, as
commercial
soon as
break.
you walk through the curtain, there's just a big brawl that breaks out.
Listen, that'd have been better than what we got. So MJF signs it, Kenny signs it. I'm like, hey, it might actually happen. April Fool's to me. Kenny, my MJF goes to talk. Kenny tells him to shut up, makes fun of him for a minute, and then tells him that people aren't here to watch MJF. They're here to watch the best wrestle. And I'm like, that's a part of it. To be fair, MJF is one of the best. I don't. There's a reason he's the champ.
Champion. He's the best in that company, anyways.
Kenny says someone needs to strike MJF down, and he's going to be the one to do it. And then MJF starts to talk. Crowd chants and telling him to shut the fuck up. MJF says, "This is where things got weird. Listen, if we wouldn't have gone into this territory, this would have just been an okay segment, and we could have moved the fuck on, and it would have just been like, okay, it existed, whatever. This is where things go downhill." Kenny all of a sudden is like, yeah, I heard from your doctor that your diverticulitis is worse than it actually was, and it's ready to explode at any point. And I'm like, if that was the case, he wouldn't be fucking wrestling.
He wouldn't be cleared. He wouldn't be cleared to wrestle. It was dumb.
Exactly. And then Speedball comes out and is the only person I felt actually sounded decent on the mic, and he's the one person I didn't want to hear talk. And he comes out and he's like, look, the funniest thing that came out of all this though was before he even gets ready to talk, Max is like, why don't you wax on and wax off out of here? Which
it was a good line.
Was pretty funny. Speedball is basically like, hey, MJF, you need to respect Kenny. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Kenny, which to be fair is true. We don't know where anyone would be. Kenny is a big part of why AEW was started.
Sure.
And then at the end of it, Kenny grabs the mic. He's like, well, I heard from your doctor that you have no balls. And I'm like, this really, okay. The diverticulitis thing was already dumb enough as it was. But then to come back as an almost, again, it came off as very playground insultish. Like, I'm going to take what you said and try and flip it and make fun of you. And I hated that.
Well, I'm rubber and you're glue, and whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
I don't know what they were doing with this specific segment. It didn't land with me. I'm sure somebody somewhere enjoyed it. The one thing that came out of this,
sure.
The one thing that I did like out of this, and I didn't write this down in my notes, but it does happen, is when MJF is like, I'm going to be the American hero tonight in our match. And using being an American versus a Canadian in Canada just made me laugh. Like, that part, I was like,
so cheap heat. It's such cheap heat.
It is, but it's the type of cheap heat that is always going to work no matter what, because
America is so hated everywhere other than America.
Oh yeah. So that ends that, and then I was like, thank God that's over. And I was like, maybe I was happy.
Wait.
There's like this internal thing where I was happy because I was like, we're not going to have to deal with Kenny anymore tonight. And I was wrong.
Told ya.
I was wrong.
I can't wait for this match where the entire match is MJF working on his fucking stomach and him just selling the whole time.
It's gonna be. I really hope I don't have the money to buy this pay-per-view.
That's what that match is going to be, and that's what that fucking Mox and Ospreay match is going to be.
Yeah. So then we get match 1, and since Kenny was already out there, it's going to be The Demand, who came out while Kenny was standing there pretty much on his with Mike Bailey standing there in fighting pose, waiting just in case somebody was going to try and jump Kenny, like he was going to stop them. But The Demand come out, and then Brody King and Jack Perry. And we start our match. Um, there was a spot late in the match that I thought was pretty cool. Jack Perry dove over the top, was caught by Goa. So then King suicide dived into all of them and took them all out. And I was like, hey, why is the biggest motherfucker in wrestling the only person that can hit a suicide dive right?
Yeah, I've seen some different angles from the one that Aew clipped her knee on the rope.
One of my sent you.
Yeah, and dove straight into the ground. But she's a trooper. She popped
Yeah,
right
she
back
is.
up.
I hope she's all right.
This match was fine. Nothing great, nothing bad. It was just there.
Ricochet hit a flying forearm on Kenny when Kenny was gearing up for his dive that he usually does, that he does a little slapping on the ground for.
The Terminator dive.
Brody cross-bodied Leona over the guardrail through the timekeeper table, made me happy.
He's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, them some big boys.
Big
boys. Kenny hit one-winged angel on Ricochet for the win. This match was entirely a tale of two halves. The first half of the match up to the commercial break was absolutely wretched and terrible, and I was hating it. I was like, this is boring. Nothing's going on. We got that really stupid spot that was like 3 people suplexing 3 people all together.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I complained to you during our messages. I hate that spot. I fucking hate it.
Now,
it's stupid.
I did not hear, and I'm not.
I had headphones on.
You had headphones on, so I didn't hear the countdown.
I heard the countdown.
Because when I watch wrestling, I actually take my headphones off so that when I move over to my other computer, it's not a game that I'm playing to get through it. So yeah, I didn't hear that. That would have probably also annoyed me, but I still had to watch it.
Yeah.
And and it's just
two in unison really drags it down. It's a stupid spot to begin with, and it's always one the baby faces get over. It's just dumb.
But then we went to commercial break, and we came back, and the second half of the match was amazing. It was fast-paced, crazy shit was happening, people were diving all over the place. It was the things that I like to watch in AEW wrestling.
It finally broke down. It was fine. Like you said, that first part of the match and the stupid spots kind of derailed it for me.
Backstage, Willow wants to defend her TBS title in an open challenge on Collision, and I already know who she wrestles because it was already spoiled for me on Twitter.
Is it a return?
It is.
Is it Monet?
I believe it's Sheeta.
Oh, Akara Sheeta. Nice.
Yeah.
She beat her?
Somebody posted a picture of Sheeta. I don't know who won.
Okay.
They just,
I was about to say.
The post said
today.
The post just said I know who challenged Willow for the title, and then it was a picture of Sheeta.
Cool.
I had to make sure I had the right Japanese lady because it was either her or Riho, and then I was like, okay, yeah, it's not little Riho.
No, you didn't know if it was Riho. Does she look like a small Japanese doll? That was Rio.
It was. I just Googled it as far as I typed in Sheeta. It was Sheeta that I saw in the image. So
I like Akara Sheeta, so that makes me happy.
Now, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just going off of what I saw someone say on Twitter. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
You're gonna make me look. It probably is. She had visa issues, so it's nice to that she would be coming back. If I could spell.
Match 2, my match of the night. Pac versus Will Ospreay.
You are correct, by the way.
It started rough.
Yeah.
During Will's entrance, because Pac had already come through, but during Will's entrance, Pac apparently ran through the crowd back up onto the ramp.
Arena to attacking from behind. Because Pac came out first through the crowd, got to the ring, and then it went to Ospreay's entrance, and then Pac must have got out of the ring, ran all the way around through the crowd. Also, Will's intro gear was stupid.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of whatever tassels are hanging off of the front of his fucking hat part. Hood.
His hood. The hood had tassels at the front. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know. Um, it's it's like this man was like Macho Man, but everywhere,
Just tassels everywhere.
tassels all the time. But yeah, so he gets attacked. They try to do the whole neck thing, and the doctors are like, "It's not worth it. You can come back when you're actually ready." And he was like, "No, I'm doing it. I'm doing
Yeah,
it."
that's why I so am not looking forward to the matches he's going to have over the next 8 months, where they're constantly selling the neck, selling the neck, selling the neck, selling the neck.
Like we finally got away from the constant diverticulitis selling. It still happens from time to time, but it's not constant anymore. And now we have to go through it again.
Yeah, except with Will's neck. I get it. It's supposed to be a weakness. Also, there was so much kinetic tape in this match, it was distracting.
So much. My note was this neck thing exists to annoy me for the next several months, for fuck's sake.
Hey, at least we're on the same page there.
Will gets into the ring just to start getting his head stomped in. The way the match ends up finishing, so there were a few high spots, the normal Will stuff. You know, he did the flying forearm. Well, he basically is, AJ now that AJ is no longer wrestling. And he hits the forearm. He hits a Styles Clash. And then, because the way he does it, he usually does, because it was, what is the move that Ospreay does to set up? I think he, rolls them up into a pin, and when they kick out, he lifts them up to get them into the position for the Styles Clash. And then he hit the Styles Clash. And then a little bit later in the match, Pac goes for this brutalizer for a second time. And they actually had a really cool spot where Will stood up out of the brutalizer while still being held into it, but then he fell. But then he managed to actually use Pac's momentum against him to roll him up. And since Pac was locked into the brutalizer, he couldn't let go, and he ended up getting pinned out of it.
It was fine. Protected both of them.
And that was the match. How the match actually ended. Post match, though, the Death Riders come out
for the receipt
and jump him. And Mox they stuck a chair around his neck, and Claudio was about to go stomp on it, and Mox stopped him and grabbed a mic and was like, "Hey, this could have been a lot worse. You need to start thinking about what you're doing and use your head before you lose it permanently." He said, "Just a reminder, this
isn't personal for me.
This isn't personal for me, but don't make it."
Yes, they don't make it personal.
And,
I don't know where they're going with this. How can it not be personal when he broke his neck, allegedly?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, for Mox, you got to remember, it's not personal for him. This was all just another day's work for everything when that happened.
I know, but how can Mox expect it not to be personal for Will when he broke his fucking neck?
So I'll be interested to see where all this goes.
A lot of holding of one's neck, I'd imagine.
That's going to happen, yes. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll have a match where we can... Mox hasn't bled in a really long time. So he's about due.
Yeah, maybe they'll just bludgeon the shit out of each other. We'll see. I'm not as excited for Dynasty as I was for Revolution.
I'm not either. There's not one match that I am actually right now currently excited to see.
Yeah, FTR versus Cope and Cage.
There is that. But I'm still not really excited to see that because I know this is more of just a vehicle to lead us to the triple threat match that'll probably happen at All In.
True. Still, I love Christian.
Oh, dude.
Namely Christian.
Yeah, the stuff that happens tonight when we get there is some of the funniest shit. Oh, we missed that actually because this actually happened before the Pac and Ospreay. I was fast forwarding too much to get through things. So backstage, Renee has stopped Cope and Cage in the hall, and I'm glad you mentioned them because we had completely missed this entire section.
Oh, boo!
They said it's like the best thing that happened in the entire night. It
really was. It was really good.
They said
the two segments that were in.
They hit back to back. They said they were going to take out anyone that was in their way, and as Cope says that, Christian gears to smack Renee with the chair, and Cope's like
Renee standing in front of him,
and Cope's like, no, Renee's not in our way, man. And so he stops and he walks off, and Edge looks at her and he's like, I am so sorry. I don't know what's gotten into him. So we go to commercial break, and then we come back, and Cope and Christian barge into FTR's locker room, and it's RPG Vice that are in there for some reason.
Because FTR is not there until Thursday night.
Right. And the RPG Vice are standing there like, yeah, no, they're not gonna be here till tomorrow night. And he was like, oh. And then Christian looks over at Cope and he goes, I think they're in our way. And Cope's like, I think you're right. And then they start beating him down with the chairs.
Yep.
Fantastic moment. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I liked it.
Dude, Christian, personality wise, like the stupid dead father thing started to get old. So I'm glad we've moved away from that.
Right. But he is so much more charismatic, and
they've found a way to get him over as a face, but being a dick still.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great.
Match 3, Triangle of Madness versus the Brawling Birds and Mina. Listen, I actually thought this match was pretty decent. I still don't care because I just don't care.
They made the women's champion look like a chump.
I don't think they made her look like a chump. She can't always be on top all the time.
They could have booked their way out of this. They didn't have to put the Birds and Mina over again.
Yeah, but they put them over more so. The Sisters of Sin. Specifically Julia.
Well, yeah, because the champion's not going to eat the pin. She has lackeys exactly for that reason, so she doesn't eat pins.
Right. She ate the 2 birds, 1 stone, which was their excuse to get her out of the match.
And then Julia Hart was the actual legal person, and she got haterated.
Yeah, she went for her spider submission that she does. Hater was like, no, ma'am. And then gave her the haterade. Was an okay match. Listen, I would be 100%. I would be 100% okay if I never saw Hater kiss her fucking arm ever again, dude. Like, I am so tired of this persona where she's like, I'm strong. Look at me kiss my fucking arms like a goddamn narcissist. I'm over it.
But her move's a clothesline. How else are you supposed to know that she's really proud of her arms to hit the clothesline if she
Hogan never kissed his fucking leg. I don't care.
The visual of that is funny though.
I
forgot the pythons, brother, but look at his leg. Wow.
I've never been a fan of this. I'm glad. Listen, it made me laugh as I was saying it, okay? I hate it. I've never been a fan, even with guys. It's not a hater specific thing. I don't like when guys do it. I've always thought it was stupid.
You know who the only person who can get away with it is?
Big Papa Pump. That's it.
That's damn right. Damn right.
And he still looks stupid. Right. But I'm going to tell him that to his face.
And we had the opportunity to because we saw him on Saturday.
We did. So yeah. Anyways, rant aside, it was fine. In ring segment, Darby came out.
He didn't kiss any parts of himself.
No, he didn't. He says he's going full throttle until he sees God or gets the title. He hasn't seen God. I thought it was a fantastic line coming from Darby. He's like, and I haven't seen God. He's like, so I'm ready to see the devil. And then at that point, Don Callis comes out, does his thing, and he's like, oh, MJF told me that if you beat the person that we pick to face you at Dynasty, you'll get a world title shot.
And I knew exactly where they were going as soon as he said that.
Yeah, everybody did.
Bums me out.
It'd have been hilarious if he'd have been like Trent Beretta.
Sadly, they still would have had a really good match.
They would have. So, and listen, I'm not bummed that we're getting Andrade versus.
I don't want Andrade
Darby
to lose to Darby.
He might not. Do you really think Darby's going to be the next up?
I don't. Well, it makes sense because MJF's not losing the title.
Yeah, you're right. His because we have it on good authority that Kenny's stomach's gonna explode during the match. Anyways, so
Yeah, he's gonna take a blood capsule and bleed from his mouth. Just you watch.
I'm not. I don't deny. Listen, I never thought he was winning it. To be
I don't
honest,
either. They're just twirling their thumbs, proverbial thumbs, until All Out.
all in.
It, either, whichever one's going to be in England,
All
which will
in.
be in.
All in is
So-
their WrestleMania now. It was Double or Nothing for the first years.
Well, All Out was their big show. All in and All Out now just take place way too close to each other, even though they did put it several weeks apart last year.
Yeah,
So
last year
that's good.
last year they put it a month and a half apart. It was
Yeah, they did it properly last year.
yeah. So
Whatever the Wembley show is, it'll be that'll be their big stadium show. There we go. We'll just call it that.
So they very obviously choose Andrade here, and at that point, Don Callis was like, "But the rest of you guys can go ahead and go beat him up now." So they run to the ring. I believe it was Lance Archer caught
the Darby's deck right to the face.
yeah caught a deck to the face, and then at that point they tried to do this whole cool moment where like. For no reason whatsoever, Brody King and Jack Perry come out to help Darby.
Yeah.
And at that point, like they kind of like slowly creep in, like they're going to jump Darby.
Like they're gonna beat him up. It was weird because I didn't get that vibe at all. Like they were going to attack. I was like, they're baby faces. What are they doing?
The point that they the point that they were showing was Darby does have like rivalry history with the both of them. But like I don't care. I don't. What point? Because like then they get in the ring and then Kenny's music hits and then I'm like, what the fuck is Kenny doing coming out? So then like because I know
Kenny just wants to motivate everybody. He's motivated Speedball now. He wants to motivate Darby.
Well,
it's
Kenny,
so weird.
Kenny did just wrestle in a trios match with the two of them, so I'm like, huh? Where are we going? And then all of a sudden,
maybe because of it was attached to Don Callis that he felt like he had to come out because he's forever feuding with them too. I don't know. But it's so bizarre.
But then Darby just left the ring, so nothing came. Like we didn't get like a stare down between him and Jack and King. We didn't get like a handshake between any of them. He just kind of walked out, said some words to Kenny that we didn't pick up. They had an exchange. And then Darby walked off, and then Kenny was like celebrating ringside. And at first I was like, the fuck is he out here selling? Like, why didn't we do this during commercial break after he had won? Why do I care? And it turned out it was because, well, he's going to commentate for the next match.
Just the main event.
Which is the main event. MJF versus Mike Bailey. MJF wore his American tights, as he does.
Yep.
He does. He had his American flag with the MJF face stars, and then
it's just his face 50 times in that little thing. It was funny.
We get Kenny on commentary, which I never want to have happen ever again.
He wasn't that bad.
Listen, is he Mox bad? Not at all.
Nigel was trying to feed him things to keep him talking at least to things that matter, but it was awkward, but it wasn't. It was Kenny's awkward.
Well, he is. That's why I need to stay off the mic. So we did get a moment where Kenny was like, "Yeah, when I first started wrestling, I wrestled with no shoes on, and then I messed up one of my toes. So then I was like, yep, never gonna have that happen again."
Yeah, I thought the little anecdote was apt. If anything, since he's friends with Speedball now, he should convince that motherfucker to wear some shoes. And I would be immediately a much bigger Speedball fan. Now, I ain't buying no damn t-shirts or anything, but I will. His presence on my television would not be so bad to me.
Over and above all, this match did end up being pretty good.
Yep.
MJF attacked Speedball from behind pretty much immediately.
Yep.
And they both had their normal spots. MJF ends up winning with a jumping tombstone on the apron, which he turned into the Heat Seeker for his finisher.
Yeah, he tombstoned him on the apron and then set him up for the Heat Seeker for the win. He won
Oh,
clean. Didn't cheat, didn't do anything.
and then as right before he does the Heat Seeker, he yelled something along the lines of "This wins for America" or some shit like
God
that.
bless
Or
America
yeah,
is what he said.
God bless America. And then he did the Heat Seeker. I was like, that's fantastic. This is why we love you, MJF. Not in a like he is one of my favorite heels in wrestling right now.
Sure, he's the heel in wrestling right now.
And no, it's not because of the whole American thing. I think he's funny. He knows how to push people's buttons perfectly. Um, Post match, MJF attacked Speedball. Kenny ran in. Show over. So we have been talking about for the last 2 to 3 weeks how bad the build for WrestleMania is, and somehow, some way, Dynasty's build has been worse
Yeah,
overall.
dude, we haven't seen a good AEW show since the pay-per-view. The
Like,
Dynamites after Revolution have been very lackluster. Apparently, they're doing well rating-wise, though. I don't understand how,
I don't either.
but
But it's probably people that are fine. Like, here's the thing. Again, my problem with the show by any means is not the wrestling. My problem with AEW is so very rarely ever the wrestling itself. It's
no.
everything else that comes along with it.
Yes.
When your only entertaining talking segment from the entire night is from two dudes who have been in the business for 40 fucking years, minor exaggeration.
Only minor, though.
That's why I said minor exaggeration. I think it's been like 35 years is how long they've been in the
Oh, it's
business.
been, they're in their 50s, and if they would have started late teens, I mean, we're getting there.
They've been wrestling for about 30 years. They both started in 1997.
Is that when they started, or is that when they got on
That was
TV
that
for
was
the
when
first time?
that was when they started on the Canadian circuits. Was 1997. Um,
Well, they weren't on the circuits very long then.
no, they weren't.
Fuck, they were still kind of green when they premiered then.
Yeah. So yeah,
Good for
they've
them.
about 30 years because yeah, close to 30 years, like right on the cusp of 30 years. They've been wrestling for 30 years, and but they're the only people that like know how to talk. Like again, I'm almost to the point where I'm
Yes,
ready.
given where they came from and the importance of it on that other television show, yeah, it kind of makes sense that they're the best people at that
Well,
because the rest of
yeah,
the show don't have that experience.
no, but they have more experience in being able to do it on their own as well without needing scripts and stuff,
Sure,
which I
they're
will give
much
them
more comfortable
props
in
for.
their own skin, and their characters are essentially themselves.
Right. Um, I just again, I'm so ready for Kenny to get back with Don Callis, just so he doesn't have to talk. Like I don't,
Do like a good heel Kenny.
I just, I don't like. Again, I haven't gotten to experience a great Kenny promo ever for myself.
Yeah, you need to see some New Japan Kenny.
I've seen bits and pieces of New Japan Kenny where he's talking to people in Japanese. Doesn't do me any fucking good.
He would follow the Japanese part with English parts as well. He was a good talker back then.
Um,
I don't know what's gone on since.
but I love watching the man wrestle, or at least I used to. He's kind of toned it down a lot since his diverticulitis stuff, which is expected. Um,
Yeah, with age and injury, but
but
he can
like,
still go when he wants to. That's the thing with Kenny.
listen, he
Even
has
even
wrestling
go
wise,
ahead.
he has my favorite individual wrestling moment in AEW. And that's when he needle dude through the cage when it was a cage match and they both went through the cage off of the. I don't remember who it was that he kneed.
Yeah, it's not important. You have two different Kennys. You have Japanese Kenny and you have American Kenny. An American Kenny can't hold a fucking candle to a fucking Japanese Kenny. New Japan Kenny wipes the floor with
It was
American
Mox.
Wrestling Kenny. Was it Mox?
Yeah, he did the V trigger to
V
John
trigger.
through the cage. But yeah, I don't know. It's and even still, there's still a big difference wrestling wise between Japanese Kenny because he had the match with fucking Gabe Kidd when he just came back from
That was his first match back
his
from the
diverticulitis.
diverticulitis.
And they had a fucking banger of a fucking match.
That's the only good Gabe Kidd match I've seen. So
I don't know what's going on with Kenny other than like, yeah, he is getting older, and I get that. But just talk wise, he's just not doing it for me.
yeah.
But you look at every
nobody in that company is really doing it for on the mic.
No, not right now currently. Some people that I almost always do enjoy talking. Will Ospreay when he's not trying to be all sad and crying.
Bro.
I'm a Bruv fan. I like when he's all like excited. He's like, yeah, bruv. Like I love it. Love that shit. I am a big fan of most of Tekla's promos.
Mox's promo tonight wasn't bad.
Mox is on an upswing with his promos. He's had a couple of good weeks in a row.
But that's the thing. He'll have a couple good weeks in a row, then he'll have like a couple bad weeks in a row.
Right. Well, his problem too is he'll start off a good promo, and then Garcia will ruin it.
Or he has a tendency to talk too long.
Yeah.
Like he said something cool, he made his point, and then there's like this long pause. And instead of just stopping and walking away, he feels like he needs to continue, and it ruins things.
I'm trying to think who. Listen. Pre-recorded vignettes are the only time Brody King should talk.
Agreed. Same with Chris Statlander.
Oh, absolutely. Double that for Chris. Triple that for Chris. I can't. I've not ever heard her. I think she's only ever said one thing live that I enjoyed on a live mic, and that was one sentence she said. And I don't even remember. That was like about a month and a half ago.
Towards the end of her title reign when she lost to Tekla.
Yeah. Willow can talk.
Willow's just more. Willow talks well, but she doesn't really say anything though.
That's true. It's probably why it's so she's okay.
That's probably why it's so digestible.
One of my favorite people. Every time they talk, almost every time they talk, I laugh. Unless they're also sad and depressed. Harley Cameron. I love her fucking moments. She's just a goofball.
Yeah, she just kind of says random things and gets really hype about stuff.
Feel the wrath.
It's a wrath.
But yeah, they need work on the promo game and
they need work on the storytelling. Period.
That too, like
the things in between the matches.
The long-term storytelling seems to work in AEW, and when I mean long-term, I mean that weird random shit that you don't realize is being long-term storytelling until it happens.
Right. The callbacks and the little minutia that they do very well, but the actual building of the programs and stuff, the things in between the matches, in between the the recalls and things like that, they need a lot of help with.
Yeah. Listen, Road Dogg is free. You think I'm joking? I don't want him to be a writer, but I think if he were to come into AEW, he would actually help.
I don't disagree, but they've brought in so many people that are quote unquote supposed to help, and none of it ends up showing up on the actual product.
Well, how much of it?
Tony thing.
Yeah, how much of it is Tony's fault though? Like Tony needs to start okaying some of these fucking decisions. Because this shit's just weird right now. Like I feel like Dynasty has no direction.
I agree. Well, other than the Cope and Christian match, which is kind of long-term storytelling because it's just kind of the pick back
Oh,
up of a feud that
Dax
was going
is
on a long time ago.
Dax is really good on our live mic too. But yeah, I just
Well, Dax is still kind of hit and miss too, depending on what he has to say.
I almost have never had a problem with Dax. It's usually Cash. Cash is the one I'm usually like,
Yeah, Cash is not as good on the mic. I will agree with that.
Cash is really good about almost killing himself though, so I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does. He does get involved in some interesting spots.
And you know who we didn't get on this show, even though we are going to get him on Collision? We didn't have a Mark Davis moment. And I like me some Mark Davis.
Oh, we get a cool one. We get him and Andrade versus the Rascals.
We do. Should be a good match.
Actually, Collision actually seemed like it's going to be a pretty good show.
Match-wise, it looks better than what we got tonight.
I don't disagree.
And this is
Ciampa and Juice. We get,
by the way,
the match I just talked about.
One of the first AEW shows in a very long time that only had 4 matches.
Ooh, they're duplicating the Raw template. That's a scary thought.
Oh no, they didn't even come close. Listen. I got so many less commercial breaks. It's not even close to the Raw template.
Well, the show wasn't, a whole nother hour longer.
Dude, that's commercial. The less other than 2 commercials tonight, which again, the Skittles commercial scares the shit out of me. The weird one where like their eyes are fluttering and they're fucking talking out the sides of their fucking mouth and shit, like nightmare fuel, dude. Fucking pure nightmare fuel.
What did I say when you said that earlier?
And then the other commercial that got me, it was a hamburger commercial for some hamburger joint, and I was like, "No, I want a hamburger," but I didn't mean that I didn't want to go out to buy one. It didn't make me want their hamburgers. I can make them. I have them in my freezer.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I ate Chinese food today, though, so I'll probably just make burgers for tomorrow for dinner.
Yeah, he said burger commercial made me want a burger. I said, I love that what you're getting from this show is a nightmare and food cravings.
Well, I even told you about the fucking dream I had the other night where where it was me and you and I ate tacos. We ate nachos, and then I woke up and was like, "Yep, I'm going to Taco Bell."
And I apparently worked 2 jobs, so good for me, I guess.
At the same time, though. So I mean,
well, simultaneously.
Yeah.
Multitasker. That's me.
Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. We love y'all. We will talk to you guys for tomorrow, actually, Collision.
Yeah.
So we will see you all then. Deuces.
Later.